It wasn't like they asked her, do you want Moderna or Pfizer? They just gave her Pfizer. So
Well, wherever Johnson & Johnson was, guys,
don't
you
be
run.
at that place.
Yeah.
Run far from it.
Clearly, we're joking. Well, not really, but you know.
Run far from it.
But yeah, that's a valid point. But
yeah.
like you said, I don't know. That's a
I
good
know.
point. But
Even when you do your
I guess you would
research.
do the research to find out.
Hi, besties. Welcome back to the Unapologetic as Fuck podcast. This is episode 2. I am one of your co-hosts, Bree.
I'm your co-host, Ash, and this is your introduction to being unapologetic as fuck this weekend. As you guys know, it's not called unapologetic as fuck for no reason.
Period per. We're going to start in with our check-in. Ash, how are you feeling, my love? What are you sipping on as well?
You know, I'm feeling okay. Just like my vibes, I'm sipping on water. Just real chill vibes. I don't know why, but I was like feeling like really mellow today, so I'm sipping on water.
And your week overall?
It was okay. Honestly, the thing that has been stressing me the most this week has been my freaking nails. I got them done a month ago, and they don't want to come off. And every nail that does come off, it hurts like a bitch. So that has been my week in summary. Bree, how's your week? And like, what have you been sipping on?
Girl, my week has been stressful, y'all. And it's just stressful with work, stressful with life. Mm-hmm. I'm just ready to go on vacation. You know those memes that's like, I want to go to the vacation or go on a vacation? Yeah. That's me.
Mood.
And what I'm sipping on because of my stress, I am sipping on, as you can see, Malibu with passion fruit juice and 2 shots of tequila. Period. Let me take a sip right now.
All right. So the next segment that we're going to head into, speaking of, is our audacious as fuck segment. So, Bree, do you want to explain like what that is?
Yes. So our audacious as fuck segment basically is when we highlight someone who has been extremely bold this week. And I think Ash has someone.
Yes.
That you want to talk about?
Yeah, sure. So this week, I was scrolling on TikTok, and there was this challenge where Black women had to explain like their worst experience while dating Black men. And this girl was talking about like she was on a first date with this guy, and he was like, "Oh, like I don't date African women," and she was like, "Okay," but she just like ignored it. And then he like proceeded to say like, "I don't date African women because I heard that they stink." And it's just like,
the audacity.
And that's the thing. Like someone in the comments was like, if it's one thing that men have, it's the audacity. And it's so fucking true. Like men just always give like these unnecessary, unwarranted like opinions.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what the fuck? So like if you are like that asshole out there who are telling women that you don't date them because you have some preconceived stereotypical notion, yeah, you win the audacious as fuck award this week.
First of all, I'm pretty sure he got shit stains in his drawers, so
yeah, she said she never spoke to him after that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. That's mad freaking rude. Mm-hmm. Boy, bye. Yeah. So now we're about to get into our main topic, and we're talking about bodies today. So Ash, how do you feel about your body?
So I think that's a great question. Mm-hmm. I have a very complicated relationship with my body. I just have always like struggled with the body that I'm in because I've always been tall and solid. Now I'm like medium height, but I shot up like very quickly. So I was used to like being the tallest or second tallest person in class until I wasn't. Mm-hmm. So there was that, and then also just being like a very solid person.
What does that mean?
So I would say that I wasn't always chubby, mm-hmm. but I always like carried weight differently than other people did. So like if you lift me up, I'd be heavy. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So on the outside, I'd look slim, right? But I would weigh more than other people. Oh, okay. So when I was younger, I've always been ashamed to like say my weight. Mm-hmm. Why? Because like when I was younger, people in my like grade, their weight would probably be like, let's say they were like 90 pounds or mm-hmm. like a little less than that. Yeah. I would be at like 120. So, you know, like that's already like very difficult to deal with because mm-hmm. not understanding like, you know, weight and the way that you carry weight can be very different. That does not mean that you're unhealthy.
Right.
So I've always like had a very difficult relationship with my body, and it wasn't until like I got older and started like gaining more weight that I just kept struggling even more. So I've never felt like I'm exactly where I want to be, weight wise. And yeah. So how do you feel about your body?
I would say I have a love and hate relationship with my body. There are times when I love how slim I am and how I can fit into other things. And then I also hate that about my body, which is why I'm on this weight gain journey. But it's not only because I dislike it about my body. Now I'm on a journey where I'm trying to love myself in all ways and be unapologetically myself.
Right.
But, there are times where I want to fill out my clothes. I don't have a butt. I don't have titties. And, I look at before, and sometimes I still do it now. I look at other women and see how curvaceous they look, or how much just like the weight that they have on their hips and their ass and their boobs and like the cocoa bottle shape. And for a very long time, I wanted that. And I still think I kind of do want that, but for myself,
Yeah.
Before it was, I guess, I don't want to say to get all of the guys, because it wasn't about men, but it was more so to be conventionally attractive.
Okay.
And, conventional attraction is more so with beauty standards.
Right.
So I have a love and hate relationship with myself. I think I also can suffer from body dysmorphia, but it's not even just my body. I don't know if body dysmorphia can be about your face too, but sometimes I feel as though I'm not very beautiful. And there are days when I'm like, oh, I'm a bad bitch. Like I look good as hell. No one can tell me nothing. And then there are other days where I'm just like, why do I look like that?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I have a love and hate relationship with my body.
I can also relate to that. Like, when I think of myself and I think of like what beauty would mean to me, or how I like what makes me feel beautiful about myself, it's not until like I dress up or like I put makeup on that's when I realize like, oh, like, I'm a cute girl. And I feel like that's unfortunate. I feel like I have never felt like when people generally know that they're beautiful,
right.
and then like they have like those ugly days.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I've ever had that. And like I know that sounds crazy to say, but like that's very much how I feel. Like I've struggled more with my beauty than I haven't struggled with it. And it's not until like there are moments like if it's like a birthday, if I go out, even if I like put on something that's like calm, like if I put on like even like a nice sweatsuit or something like that, then I'm like, okay, like I see that I'm cute, and like I put I put my hair in one, or like I comb my hair, however, like that, then I'll be like, okay, like I'm cute here, or like I'm beautiful here,
right?
But like for the most part, I don't wake up and be like, oh, like I feel beautiful today,
right?
And so I completely understand like how you feel about like struggling with that, and like I've been like really struggling with that, and like one of the first things that I spoke about in therapy was that like trying to figure out how to love myself despite that, because like, even if I lose weight, like I still have to be in this body while trying to lose weight. So it's like trying to find that place where I'm like, oh, but I'm still beautiful.
Right.
And like it's been very difficult.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's very tough. And I'm pretty sure our audience can tell us that it's been tough with them too. But we can even go into how that stems from beauty standards,
right,
or society's beauty standards. Do you know about conventional attraction and unconventional attraction?
No, like, can you explain?
Yeah, so basically conventional attraction is when a man or a woman fits the beauty standards. So they have a symmetrical face. They have perfect shaped lips with a cupid's bow. They have a cute button nose. Their eyebrows are the perfect bushiness. And then unconventional attraction is when you don't fit those standards. So a good example of that is Slick, who models for Fenty Beauty, who has the Gap the gap tooth or the gap teeth. She has a gap and she's bald and her lips are big. And some people would view her as not beautiful, but others do.
Yeah.
So she's a model. She's a beautiful woman, right? But for some, she wouldn't fit that beauty standard.
Right.
Yeah. So how do you think beauty standard or society beauty standards have been harmful to people and their bodies?
I think that it's always been very harmful. I would say like some examples are even like plastic surgery.
Yes.
And I am not against plastic surgery whatsoever, but people get it done and it's very popular because of what society says is beautiful. So like something that like has always been done, but I feel like has become more popular in the most recent years are BBLs, right?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
So,
yes.
A lot of people, and we made a joke about that
We did,
last episode,
Yeah.
but it's true. Like, a lot of people, they want the lipo, they want like a fat transfer. And like I said, I'm not against that.
Right.
It's more so like that is a direct influence of society standards, which it could be harmful. Like, you're going through surgery and you just never know what could happen.
There's so many horror stories.
Yeah. And like, speaking of that, even with Hazel E.
Yes.
Like, and her mommy makeover, and that kind of went, it did go left because she talked about like losing both of her breasts. And like, this was something that she wanted to do for herself. And she had been like feeling insecure before her daughter was even here and stuff. So this is like something that she wanted to get fixed. And like, even when you see like new moms, like, a lot of people like have kids like around our age. So they're in their like 20s. And even after their first kid, like
the feeling of wanting to snap back is like
they're
so prominent.
Right on the surgery table once they have, like, whether they have the money or not, they're right on the surgery table. They don't feel like there's any other option but surgery.
Right.
And I feel like that's just unfair. Like, you wanting to get surgery, that is fine, but like we cannot lie and act like there is there's no beauty standard that's like enforcing that. And it's like I feel like you not being able, or like us not being able to like love ourselves and love the bodies we're in, especially after having like a kid, like that sucks. Like, like, yes, changes will come, but it's like, so many people are like, well, I just want to snap back. I want to snap back. And like they have surgery like after their first kid, then they go back like after their second, and they like continue to go back. And like, that amount of surgeries can be harmful. Like we've even seen it with like K. Michelle. Yeah. How she had to like go and get everything reversed. So like I said, I feel like that is one example of like how beauty standards could be harmful.
Khloe Kardashian, a unedited picture of her went up on Instagram, and the Kardashian lawyer was trying so hard to scrub it off the internet. And she basically put out a statement saying that it's so hard, like beauty standards are pushing her to be like this and it's society. And it's just like, but you're the one influencing that, and a lot of celebrities as well as influencing unedited photos and beauty standards that aren't real,
right?
Yeah. And how our bodies should be, how we should have a curve or a huge ass or good titties, or and it's not just celebs who are influencing that, but I also think it's men too.
Oh, for sure.
And not to bash men, but a lot of men say, but a lot of men say that they want a fat ass.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I'm like, I got a pretty face and a great personality, but damn, why I said it like that, personality, but I don't got a fat ass.
Right.
I don't got something that you can grab on, boo. Like, I got something you can grab on, but it's not huge.
Right.
You can
pinch it. That picture.
You can pinch it.
Right.
So for some time, I was like, damn, I kind of want a huge ass so my man can grab it and like he can feel good, but fuck that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's so many different things that are contributing to the beauty society beauty standards and how we look upon our bodies.
Can I be honest with you, Bree?
Yeah.
I've honestly never wanted to, I guess maybe I just never thought that was a possibility. But, you know, like when we were younger and like being slim, like with no butt, like no titties was like the end thing. Like I feel like I've never wanted that. Like I always wanted, and even now, it's not like I want like big boobs, but I just always wanted like a regular, like slim, Coke-shaped body. Like I don't want like big ass or big tits. Like I just wanted tits to
like an
just sit up.
Ashanti.
But Ashanti now is different. But
yeah, now, but
when
back
she's
in the
younger,
day,
yeah.
I was gonna say J-Lo, but because you know J-Lo back in the day, her ass was huge. Even though when you look at it now, it's like her butt wasn't even that big.
You know who I think of? Like Shensia.
Oh, okay.
Like Shensia is like, she don't have big boobs, big butt, but
her shape is
yeah. And I mean, maybe she does have like a big butt, but you know what I mean. Like it's like everything is like well portioned. Like I feel like that has like always been the dream body of mine. So it's like I feel like in a way, I wouldn't say I have not been influenced by beauty standards because, but I've always like wanted like some curves, and I think that it's just like it's crazy because before beauty standards were, you have to be skinny, and like the reason I bring that up is because you were talking about like, you know, like young girls and stuff,
right?
And like I don't know if you remember, like, what is it called? Noggin? No shit. What was it
Noggin?
called? No.
The
Noggin?
N?
The End.
With Degrassi?
Yeah, not only Degrassi, but remember the end when he used to have commercials and these two girls were fighting? It was a commercial where these two white girls were fighting because one had told the other her butt was big.
Girl, I never seen that one.
Yeah. I always remember that. I don't know why.
What commercial is that?
And I was like, her butt is not big. But I was just like...
She ain't got a fat ass. What are you talking about?
And but she was like really upset and like they got into a fight. It was a commercial.
Oh, okay.
But it was just like, you know, it's just crazy how times have changed. Like back then,
oh my gosh,
it was an insult for you to have a fat ass. And now it's like everybody wants a fat ass.
That's the thing about beauty standards. It's fluctuating. It's always changing.
And that's what's fucked up. I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's what's so fucked up. But you can continue.
But yeah, in a couple of years, maybe skinny might be in, and BBLs or a fat ass and big titties won't be it anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, people are always gonna have their preference on what they like.
Right.
But I do believe, like you said, back in the day, it was like natural bodies, not a lot of makeup, your hair. You may have a couple of
used to be looking like death, but it's all right. That's another topic.
All of them.
Yeah, but sometimes
with the lip gloss popping.
Sometimes, if you look at like older pictures, like in the 90s. Oh, like when they went on the red carpet, that flash was like getting them. But that's
we gonna get into fashion another time, but and their makeup. But yeah, beauty standards are always changing, and bodies are always changing, and what they think or who society view as a beautiful body is always changing. I'm pretty sure in the next couple of years, I don't even know what the next beauty standard would be, but it's definitely going to change.
Right. And that's why I say, like, fuck beauty standards. And that's also why I brought up, like, not wanting to, like, I didn't want to be, like, and I'm saying this is me personally, so I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way. Like, I never cared about, like, that beauty standard where they were like, oh, like, being, like, skinny is, like, the in thing. Like, I was just like, well... this is not for me. But you know,
there was a point in time where I was like, I wish I was around that time because you know my slimness would have been all that.
But the reason I bring that up is because I don't want anyone to feel self-conscious because like that was the in thing and now somehow it's not. So like, and then when it changes again, then other people are going to feel left out. And it's like, fuck society standards because it's more so about like what you find beautiful. But like also... it's about finding beauty in every stage of like of where you're at.
Yes.
Like, you know, when you're slim, when you get your curves, when you gain a little weight, like and loving yourself through all of that. That doesn't mean that you have to like stay in that, but like still being like, you know what? I'm a bad bitch.
Yeah,
like,
especially women. We go through different stages of puberty. Yeah. And I used to say, oh my gosh, I wish I can gain weight. I wish I can gain weight. And people would tell me, wait till you're 25, girl. Your metabolism is going to slow down. You're going to gain weight. Or when you have a kid, you're going to gain weight. Obviously, I'm not waiting till I have a baby. But, you know, we go through maturity levels differently. We mature at like when we're teens and we have like the boobs and the butt, and then we mature again or we go through puberty again, another stage of it, like in our late 20s. Yeah. So loving that part of that evolution of yourself is very important, and how it's done is steps. It's a journey.
Yeah. And society standards, just always remember that society standards
It
are
ain't
bullshit.
real. It ain't
They're
real.
bullshit. Why? Because they're always going to evolve, and then at some point there will be something about you that you feel stands out. Like, you know, big lips weren't a thing at one point. I've always had like the lips that I have right now, and they're not like huge, but they're full. And you know, people could find that not beautiful. Do I give a fuck? Some people tell me, not some people, all the time I hear about like my eyes. And honestly,
Oh my gosh,
that's
me
something,
too.
that's
My eyes are too big.
and that's something that has never bothered me.
Listen,
so
I
like, you know, I'm
can
just saying,
kill
like,
you with a death stare.
yeah, like my mom always talks about that. Like she always jokes about this stare that I give, or like when I open my eyes, she'll be, "Oh my god, you scared me." Obviously, it's a joke, but it's just like, you know, like I don't like, that's something that doesn't bother me. Like I said, fuck your standards, because even when we think about like Chloe Bailey,
Yes.
right? So like, as of recently, Chloe Bailey has been like this source of like body positivity. And
First of all, she looked the fuck good.
yes, she does.
Chloe looks so bomb. And I
She
was like, I need to
does.
get my body like her. But it's also me trying to stop myself from comparing myself. But her body is fire.
Seriously, I also that's also like the body that I think of when but the butt, I'm just like, I don't know if I'll ever have that. So, you know,
I'm working towards it.
yeah. But no, seriously though, like Chloe Bailey has been a source of body positivity, and in a way, she kind of fits she fits conventional beauty because she has like a Coca-Cola
bottle shape.
Yeah.
Coca bottle shape.
That's the word. Please edit that out. But yeah, she has
a Coca bottle shape, baby.
Yeah, she has a whatever. Coca-Cola bottle shape body. And and you know, even she was getting like shit about embracing her body. Like, what the fuck?
Even Coyle Ray. Coyle Ray is another person who embraces her body. And I would say that I'm the size of Coyle Ray, and my ass do be jiggling like her. But like, people were saying that they were trying to body shame her because she's very slim, and because she's always like twerking or doing stuff that makes her feel good about her body. They're like, "Oh, put that little body away." Or I saw a couple of people on Twitter saying that she looks like a little boy.
I was just gonna say that. Go ahead.
Yeah, like her body looks like a little boy. She doesn't look. She's not giving sensual or sexual or whatever they had said. But it's just like, who are you?
Yeah, and I was gonna bring that up because I was also going to say, like, even though Khloe has gotten slack for her body, like, she's still somewhat seen as a sign of body positivity. But then, like, Coyle Ray or, like, Lizzo, they're also, like, they struggle too. And, like, I would say, like, not to me in particular, but, like, when you look at society, like, no matter how much Lizzo embraces her body, like, it's, like, only chubby people embrace Lizzo for her body positivity. Other than that,
or they say that she's doing too much.
Yes, everyone else says she's doing too much. But like, if it's Dre and Michelle, she's not doing too much,
right?
You know, and it's like Coyle Ray
or
like,
Alexis Sky. She be doing too much.
Yeah, and it's like Coyle Ray and like Lizzo, like who are like they're not in between. They're one side or the other. Spectrum. Like. They're not really seen as like body positivity because, like you said, somehow slim girls have been associated with like, oh, she's a little boy. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's just like, you know, it really baffles my mind. Like, so because I don't have tits and ass, like,
right, and that's another reason why I felt so bad about my body too, because everyone was just saying like, you don't really got a body, like, you don't fill out your clothes, you look kind of weird and awkward, and I'm tall,
right?
So being slim and tall, people say you can be a model, right? They tell me you can go ahead and be a model, and there's others just like, she looks a bit awkward, you know? So, yeah, I agree.
So, recently, you know, when she opened up and like she was very emotional about her body and stuff like that, and like embracing it and like finding a way to love it and embrace it, it just like goes to show that like everyone struggles with their body, and you know, like even people who we think have like the perfect body, you know, they struggle too.
But they do.
But and it's like the one thing that I have loved most about Khloe Bailey embracing her body is that other people of different shapes and sizes have been also able to embrace their body because if anyone follows her, they'll see like when she reposts people who are like, oh, like body positivity because of Khloe Bailey. Like it's not just like slim girls. Like it's a variety of girls. So like it could be like girls that look like Coily Ray. It could be girls that look like Lizzo. It could be girls that look like Khloe Bailey and like anything that's in between those three. So,
you know, I think that we just have to look at bodies realistically. Mm-hmm. Not all bodies are perfect.
Yeah.
You know? It even goes to say how even like women who are a bit bigger and their stomachs, like it's just a part of your body, you know? Yeah. I had a friend who like her stomach sometimes pushes out and she's very like self-conscious about it and she feels like maybe guys don't like that or they're not going to be into that. But it's a part of your body. Like sometimes even the things that we eat, if you maybe what's the word? Have a gluten allergy where if you intake gluten, your stomach can be a little bit bloated.
Right.
So we have to look at bodies realistically. Like it's not perfect. We have scars on our bodies. We have hair on our bodies. Some women have hyperpigmentation on their bodies. We have
that's another thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we have what is it called? What is it called on your
cellulite?
We have cellulite. We have, but no, on your bikini line. Razor bump marks.
Yeah.
And
that's
and then discoloration. Right. And it's just we have to look at it as bodies and also try to accept that bodies are realistically that way. Yeah. You know, instead of looking at a lens like it has to be perfect. So yeah, that's my note on that.
No, I completely agree with you. Like, you know, people see certain sizes and they're like, oh, like you're not healthy. But like, you know, someone would critique Lizzo for not being
healthy. Lizzo is hella healthy.
I was about to say.
I think she's a vegan.
Yeah, she is. She is the
and
one
her skin is fire.
She's the one who started the nature cereal trend, but that's neither
really.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think I found a guy who started it, and then she started eating it.
Oh, I don't know.
Credits to him, even though I don't know his name.
Right. I thought it was her who started it, but I think I don't know who that guy was, but whatever. Kudos to the guy.
Kudos to him.
Yeah. And Lizzo for also making it very popular. But Lizzo is very, like, she is healthy. And people always say that she's not healthy because she looks a certain way. But, like, even with Saweetie, like, you know, Saweetie, she eats what she wants to eat. And people don't critique her. People are not like, oh, there's anything wrong with what she's eating. And she'll eat like a double, what is it fucking called?
She be eating all types of stuff.
Yeah, like the Big Cheetos. Mac McChicken and stuff like that. Stuff. Like mad weird shit. And like, I love it. I honestly love all of it. But it's like, why can't you like give the same energy to other women? You know, like,
and people are gonna say we do give the same energy. We be talking mad shit about what food she eat, but not in that connotation. You don't say that she's unhealthy. You just say that she's about to blow up her toilet. Right. So
yeah. So like another question I'd like to ask you is what do you think about, like, you know, there has been like a debate about skinny shaming versus fat shaming. So being someone that is slim, do you feel like the two compare?
Yes, I think they're both relevant. You can fat shame, you can also skinny shame. A lot of people, when they talk about slim women, they say a lot of different things like, oh, just eat more and you would gain weight. It don't work like that for a lot of slim women, you know? And even like certain things that people would just say, whether it's how our body looks, or for example, with the Coily Ray thing again, your body looks like a boy because she's slim, you know? I think they're both comparable. One, I don't know, I don't think one gets more shaming than the other, but they both do get shaming, you know? And obviously, fat shaming has been around for a very long time. Even from Monique's Fat Girl, she made a whole movie about it. There's been so many different movies about it, or like articles and different things about it. But skinny shaming is also a thing too. You know, what do you think?
I honestly like have mixed reviews. I feel like That's funny to say. But anyway, I feel like mixed, because even though I know that skinny shaming is a thing, I think that like fat shaming sometimes can be a little more detrimental, because like nobody's not going to love you because you're skinny. You know what I'm saying? And I could be wrong. That could be my own interpretation. But I feel like with fat women, like they're already like, people already see them and like don't respect them. Like they won't talk to them. Like, you know, when you're in a circle, like you won't get the time of day. Like I feel like with skinny women, like that is different. You know, so it's like, yes.
We can even think about with men too.
Yeah.
Skinny men may get more play than a more thicker man.
Not in my book, but yeah, for some other people.
I mean, we're just saying.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is not our opinion, right? We're just saying. Yeah. I guess some thick men or men who are more have that built status get overlooked, and a man who is a bit slimmer.
Right. So yeah, I just feel like I think that they both happen. I think that sometimes it's just like
one is being more ashamed than the other.
Yeah, because like there was a video circulating with Lizzo, and she was, I wish I could find it so that I could quote it properly, but it was like a comparison between like black and white and like fat versus skinny. And like I know that sounds weird, but she was talking about like how just like being black, like when you're fat, you know, it's not just about people telling you that you're not beautiful, but like how people interact with you and like maybe like a job or like finding love or finding dates and stuff like that. I really wish that I could find it, but I just feel like I was trying to say, that it's not like the two do not happen. It's just like, from what I understand, like fat shaming, maybe like you said, has been around longer, and I guess more popular, but it's just like the way that people treat fat people.
I guess you can even look about it with men too, because a lot of women, well, not a lot, but some women gravitate to a more slimmer man than a thicker man, or a man that's built and has that like who's a bit bigger. You know, a lot of times I see that like the fat dude, quote unquote, or the bigger dude is seen as like the comedian of the group and not someone that like a lot of women flock to.
Right.
So I guess I can understand where you're coming from in that retrospect,
and like
or in that perspective.
And like you said, you know, the same thing with black women. I mean, fat women is like always seen as like the bestie or the best friend and or a friend, and never like a love
or the comedian.
interest. Yeah, and never the love interest. But I think the point I was trying to make is just like, I can't say that one is, I honestly cannot say that one is more harsh than the other. Right. I just feel like it's difficult to say, like, you know,
another
which
thing
one
I
want
to say, not to cut you off, but we cannot equate ugliness to fat. Yeah. Or being unhealthy to fat. Right. There's some fire ass, and we can probably change the word around fat. Like people make fat to be as if it's like this ugly ass thing. Yeah. Like when I saw it when I don't know if it was one of my friends, but something on Twitter where a woman was like, "I'm fat and I'm happy about it," or like when someone say, "I'm fat," and the other person be like, "No, but you're beautiful." Yeah. Yes, I'm fat and I'm beautiful, and I'm okay with that. Yeah. I'm healthy. I'm fine. So switching around that word "fat" for it being negative to a more positive term or adjective is also something that we can work towards as well, or have a discussion around. Right. Because just because you fat don't mean you're not beautiful or you're unhealthy. Right. And that's the thing. Like, yeah. It's not like a bad term. Like, oh my gosh, I'm fat. Right. Like, yes, I am fat. Right. I'm fat and I'm proud and I'm good. Right. And like, why does, like you said, like once you hear the word fat, then it just means like other things. Right. Besides like I have extra weight oh my God, don't say that about yourself. Yeah. But no, I know what's up. Yeah. Like, and I'm fire. Yeah. You know, you're like, I'm going to still take it. I'm going to still take it. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that. Talking about bodies and everything else, I want to end off on a positive note and what you feel is a positive thing about your body or how you feel about yourself. So, I guess like a positive thing that I would say is my face. Even she's pretty. Right. Beautiful. Thanks.
So, like, even though I do struggle, I do find that I have, like, a beautiful face. I don't know about, like, symmetrical and conventional, but, like, it's cute. It's cute.
She
It's, like,
fire.
it's cute. One thing I do really love about myself are my lips. So, like, that's my favorite feature on myself. So, how do you feel? Like, what is something that you would say is positive?
My personality.
And...
I mean, my face. I think I'm beautiful as well. But again, I have my days where I feel as though I'm not that beautiful. And that's just something that I have to work on because I feel like my face is asymmetrical. It's just weird. But I'm working on it. It's a journey. I'm evolving. But for one, I know that my personality is bomb as fuck. And I feel like that shines through and glows more. And it makes me beautiful as a person, you know? We want you guys to also email us at helpfulafk@gmail.com and tell us what you think is beautiful about yourselves or maybe even some negatives that you want us to talk through. And again, whatever you sent us will be talked about in the next episode.
Yep. So, Bree, now that we have concluded with our topic, let's move on to our current AF portion. Yes. Our AFK portion.
So our current as fuck portion goes into some current events that we be talking about to you guys. And maybe you may know some of these things and sometimes you may not. So let's get right into it. What you gonna talk about, girl?
Okay. So one thing that I wanted to talk about is, I don't know if you've seen it, but like all over social media recently, people have been talking about, are braids a birthday hairstyle? What do you think about that, Bree?
Bro, you know what I think about it? Is that really a conversation right now on what a hairstyle is a birthday hairstyle? If you can rock braids, you can rock braids. Like, nobody can tell you nothing about that. Yeah. You feel me? Like, I saw a tweet that was just like, if you can't rock it, just say that.
Right. I completely agree.
Because there's nothing wrong with having braids on your birthday.
Yeah. And it's just like, I'm not even trying to be funny. And the more you guys see me, you'll know.
If you don't got the bad bitch feature, don't just say that. Just kidding.
No, but seriously, like the more that, you know, I open up to this podcast, you'll understand who I am. And like, it's anti-black as fuck to even think that braids are not a hairstyle. Like, what the fuck? Like, it was just like, so I didn't really know what was going on. Like, I just like always catch things in the middle. So like, I was like, okay, everybody's tweeting about like, oh, braids, like everyone was tweeting backlash about that statement. And I was just like, what the fuck? And then when I read the tweet, I don't know if this was the original tweet, but I read the tweet where the girl was like, oh, like, this girl told me to get braids for my birthday. Like, I'm about to block her or some shit like that. And I was just like,
girl, what?
That's so weird. What are you talking about? Like, why is it that like bundles are like the only way to celebrate your birthday? Listen. Like, braids are very cute and you can style them in different ways. So I was very confused about that. So I wanted to ask you, like, how did you feel about that?
I just think
do you think that you would ever like wear braids for your birthday?
Yes, if I want to. I think we got to think about it as a protective style here. Yeah. We're protecting our curls. I'm talking about Black women. We're protecting our curls. We're protecting our natural hair. Or even if your hair is relaxed, you're protecting your hair anyway. So, I mean, if you want to wear it and flaunt it and look good as hell in it. Right. I don't think we should be having conversations on what hairstyles look good or not. Especially when there's bigger things happening.
Yeah, someone was like, braids are like cute. And lace front or like bundles,
girl,
whatever,
go to hell.
Is sexy. No, seriously. Like, if you look good, you look good.
You look
like,
good.
The braids is not going to stop it. Like, I'm so confused.
Right.
And it's just like somebody else, which I thought about too, is like, I had thought about this right away. They were like, it's like when the corporate world tries to tell you that you can't wear braids to work. Like, that's exactly like what this is. Yes. So it's like, felt like that was anti-black as fuck. So that was one current event ish thing that we wanted to talk about. So do you want to talk about your current event and then I'll get into the last one?
You all may not know or may know this, but there was a mass shooting at a FedEx facility. 19-year-old Brandon Hull has killed 8 people and wounded 7. He is dead. I think the Indianapolis police has said that he was found with inflicted or self-inflicted gun wounds. He used to work at the FedEx facility in 2020, and the motive is unknown on why he killed all of these people. But his mom did say that he's been having suicidal thoughts, and he was planning on
They always say that. So sorry.
He was planning on having a suicide attempt by the police. So I guess doing something with the police where they shoot him and kill him. I just think that...
They always try to plead mental health.
Yeah. But I also think that mass shootings have become very common in America. It's like every week we're hearing about a mass shooting. If I think the mass shooting that was most recent was with the Asian people within the spa that they got.
Yeah, that's the most recent one that I've heard about.
And I think there's another one too with a veteran and like a supermarket where there was a mass shooting at a supermarket or a store. And it's just like, since when? I mean, this has been a thing in America for a very long time. Like, I think we have the most mass shootings of a country. But what's going on? I feel like America's in shambles right now, and we're paying attention, but it's just like passing us by.
I feel like America has been in shambles, honestly speaking.
Yeah,
like I feel like
what's up with these mass shootings?
I can't say like when mass shootings like really went like on a rise, but recently, like it definitely has been crazy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like what have been like some of the most,
even
like,
with Joe Biden is trying to crack down on gun violence. I think I forgot exactly. I don't want to go into it because I didn't read the article and I don't know much knowledge about it, but it's just not making any sense to me.
Yeah. It's just like the gun laws are like really difficult because it's like to create like stricter gun laws, and then like I think they say that you're supposed to go through like checks to even get a gun. I'm not sure. I honestly have no idea. But then it's like there's a black market, and like people can really get guns because guns will always be sold illegally, unfortunately. So it's like, you know, I genuinely like don't know what to do about that, and it's very sad. Yeah, and it's almost always
with people.
Yeah. Exactly.
If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
So
I'm not even saying it correctly. Whippo.
Yeah.
Whippo.
I don't know.
It's white popo.
Yeah. I just like it just it just like auto corrects in my head to what it needs to be.
White
like,
tea.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. So rest in peace to the victims.
Yes. So many deaths this past week. Rest in peace to DMX.
Yes. And
X gonna give it to you. He gonna give it. That's how I go.
I was really trying to make sure that I was as knowledgeable about this as possible. So, we are still in a panoramic. And
Panda Express.
People have been getting vaccinated. And recently, Johnson & Johnson's vaccination has been withdrawn because they said about 6 women ranging between the ages of 18 to 48 have reported like a blood clot, and it's like very severe. From what I read, it was like it wasn't like a regular blood clot. I think it was like in the brain. Yeah. So, one woman died. One woman died from what I read. But yeah, Johnson & Johnson, yes, has been a very faulty company, because if everyone remembers, like in 2 years ago in 2019, they also like had like the baby powder that was like known to cause cancer. Yeah. So this is not an attack on Johnson & Johnson. We're just saying that we need you to get it together for the sake of the people.
When Johnson & Johnson came out with their vaccine, I was like, why are they coming out with a vaccine? Isn't that a family brand where they just, sell baby products and other things? And why are they doing a vaccine? Yeah. Another thing with Johnson & Johnson vaccine is that they have asked Moderna and Pfizer, people who work for them, for some help. And Moderna and Pfizer has declined to help them. Yeah. For whatever reason.
Sorry.
I guess in terms of like figuring out why the vaccine has gone left or why there's blood clotting in people. Okay. But they have declined to help them.
Yeah, and Johnson & Johnson is the only vaccination, that's a single dose. The other two
which was
2
also
doses.
like, what?
Yeah. But I was reading an article that was saying that vaccinations are more like women are more susceptible to symptoms because they live on the X chromosome and like women have 2 while men have 1. So like they were also saying that when you have certain symptoms means that it's working, and like if you don't have symptoms, like don't be alarmed. But like obviously the clots are like too much. So we just want to keep you guys updated and just remind you to do your research.
Do your research.
It does take a lot of research, and like even talking about this right now, like obviously like it's not perfect, but still trying to educate you the best way that we can. And keeping you aware.
And we're not shaming anyone for getting a vaccine or deciding to get their vaccine.
Yeah.
It's just make sure you know exactly. I mean, I don't even think sometimes you can choose which one you want, right? Because in the beginning, my grandma had gotten her vaccine, and it wasn't like they asked her, do you want Moderna or Pfizer? They just gave her Pfizer. So,
well, wherever Johnson & Johnson was, guys,
don't be at that place.
Yeah.
Run far from it.
Clearly, we're joking. Well, not really, but
run far from it.
But yeah, that's a valid point. But
yeah,
like I said, I don't know. That's a good point. But
even when you do your research,
I guess you would do the research to find out where they're giving what, and then like go from there. I haven't even looked into it, but
just take your precautions.
Yeah.
And do what you think is best for your body.
Yeah, and when you do decide to get vaccinated, or if you decide to get vaccinated, just continue to like monitor yourself and your body, and like don't accept everything as like normal. And I think that's the main takeaway here, is that people could be like, oh, like because how would you know you have a blood clot?
Right.
You wouldn't. You would,
or if it stemmed from the vaccine.
Right.
They could have said like, oh no, if you have hypertension or you have diabetes or you have heart issues, they can say, oh, that's where the problem stemmed from, even though it probably stemmed from the vaccine itself.
So, the point is just like, just continue to do your research, and to stay on top of yourself. Like make sure that you're monitoring how you feel and things like that, so that, the person who has the best interest at heart is you.
Yes.
So, we are in support of people who decide to get vaccinated. And just continue to do your research.
Yes.
So, Bree, do you have any closing remarks?
Yes,
about our episode today?
Pertaining to bodies, I know that it sounds very cliche, but to really work on loving yourself in all forms, the bad, the good, the ugly, the pretty, because you only have one body, and it's up to you to take care of it and to love yourself. And like Ash would say, fuck beauty societal standards, because it's your world and you're living in it. And matter of fact, it's your world and we're living in it. So I always say that to myself to make me feel better. But it's a journey, and just take it one step at a time, one day at a time, and do things that you want to do. Whether if you feel like getting plastic surgery is what you want to do because you're not a fan of your shape, do your research and get it done, because who's going to check you? Nobody.
Right.
And if you are fine with how your body is and you just want to develop a healthy relationship with your body, do that. So that's my cue in going unapologetically as fuck this weekend.
Yeah. So what I would say is, like I've been saying, fuck society's beauty standards for sure. But also like learn to love the body that you're in. And just because you love the body you're in doesn't mean that you can't make changes to it. So that doesn't mean that you can't lose weight. That doesn't mean that you can't get plastic surgery. But like still remember that you are beautiful, and like, first find that journey to self-love, because if you don't, then any change you make, you will be unhappy with that. So like the most important part is to love the body that you're in, and love it when you really hate it, so that when you work towards the goal that you finally want to get to, then you really do love it and you appreciate that body. And something else I would say is, continue to just embrace who you are. So whether that be like physically, internally, like this was about bodies, but this is about like what's going on the outside and the
Overall.
inside. So, you know, we want you to just continue to love yourself and be unapologetic as fuck this week.
We got real sentimental a while ago.
Yeah, because we love you guys.
Also, do your research on vaccines and how you feel about it.
All right. Bye, bitches.
Bye, besties.